Hi everyone. Sorry from the get-go about any clicks and clacks or the sound of my computer fans. I don't make videos and I don't have a good setup for doing that, so I apologize if that's distracting or annoying for anybody. But I wanted to make a video to explain stability in Dune Awakening. I see a lot of misinformation about it. I see a lot of players who don't understand why they can't build certain things. There's a lot of people who ask questions in the Discord, etc. For starters, all pieces have to be connected with the structural tile set. It doesn't matter which tile set you use, but they have to be structural tiles. These can be foundations, they can be columns, they can be pillars. From any of these tile sets that are structural, you can build out 9 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you look at these tiles, they all end in the same location, same distance. They're all 9 tiles long. However, they have different structural pieces. So this is a column, this is a pillar. An important thing to note is that things that are built directly on top of structural tile pieces, they become structural too. So at the end here, where I showed that these are all equidistant, these technically have 10 ceiling tiles, but these two, the ceiling tiles became structural pieces by being built on top of the pillars and the columns. This works for walls as well. There is conflicting information about, some people think that the higher you build, the less stability you have, but if you count out these tiles, there are 9 of them. This works for walls as long as walls are built directly on top of a structural foundation piece, or it could even be a pillar with a ceiling or a column with a ceiling. However, you will note at the very end here, this set of ceiling tiles is short 1 the total distance, even though it is still 9 ceiling tiles long. This is because the original wall was built on the back of the structural piece. So when you're doing real base builds, sometimes you're going to have to make hallways or build some extra features like this entryway so that you can extend things out an additional tile when you need to. But you have to be careful about this, particularly in large bases, because if this was a critical structural piece and you break it, that piece we just built got deleted. And in bases that are really tall, bases that are really wide, sometimes this can cause entire floors to collapse. Now, while wall pieces can be structural pieces, something that's different about Dune compared to other games with similar building systems is if you build a wall tile into the terrain, it doesn't add any stability for you. So you see, we can't hang anything off of this edge. We can build it on top, but that has to do with the way that stability works, and I'll explain that just a bit more in a second. But even if we use a ceiling tile, we can't extend it to the side anymore because this would technically be a 10th piece. So just to show you, we build that, we still can't hang that, and we still can't extend that. However, if we were to instead build a foundation piece there, now we could hang a piece, we can extend a piece, no problem. But if we delete that, they both break. Now, hanging wall pieces and hanging other pieces, like pillars or columns, they seem to follow slightly different logic. It seems that up to, I think it's 5 or 6 build pieces out, you can only hang them too tall. And once you get past that, you can only hang them 1 height. Inclined pieces all have a base length of 1, so 1 foundation, 1 ceiling, whatever. So you can't use these to span any additional distance. You can't use them to kind of figure out a way around the 9 tile stability limit. You also have to be careful sometimes when you're building. It's hard to replicate, but there are circumstances where using a half-length incline, so the half stairs or the half ramp or its other components. Clipping is weird in this in that you can't easily hang a corner column from the corner or the center. In this situation, you can place it through and it'll clip just fine, but other times when you're building, you'll find that you have trouble doing it. So you have to break that floor piece in order to sink it into the ground. Just be aware that you may run into issues occasionally where when you're building with the half stairs, that you can end up with stability issues because you struggle to find ways to actually connect these pieces into the actual building itself. Lastly, plastone versus granite, there is no difference in the stability. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if we piece pick it, yeah, sorry, I was short one. 9 now. You cannot get anything extra out of them. And I want to clarify that because some people will talk about how it's stronger, and what they're talking about is the durability or the health of the buildable tile. And this is important in PvP zones where you build your bases, say, in the deeper sections of the deep desert. If you build your base out of granite and somebody raids you, they're going to break through your entire base pretty quickly. So if you're going to build out in a PvP-enabled area, make sure you're always building in plastone. But otherwise, in terms of durability or the sandstorms, there's no real difference as long as your base is powered. I hope that helps, and happy building.